Herm Edwards is an analyst for ESPN and a former head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs and New York Jets. Each week during the NFL season, the former Monterey High, Monterey Peninsula College and Philadelphia Eagles defensive back will share his thoughts with the Herald's John Devine. You kind of know who you are at the quarter mark of the season. Now it's about adjusting. You might have thought you were going to be this, but you're something else. For some teams, that's alright. For others, they're running out of time to figure this out. You have to ask yourself, is it the players or the system? If the system is the problem, you have to adjust, because you can't change players. You're kind of scratching your head with a couple of teams right now. Are the Giants really that bad? Yeah, right, now they are at 0-4. A lot of teams are 22. In most of the divisions, that's one game out of first place. Now, it's a 12-game season. Let's see what we can do. You have to tweak the system. Is it players or coaches' errors? If the players do not understand, then it is a coach's error for making it too complicated. That's New England's problem right now. The defense is too complicated. They're making a lot of mental mistakes in the secondary, and that's not a bad group of players. As for the teams that have started 31, I think the Rams can sustain their start. They're pretty good. We will find out more this week when they host Seattle, but I like what they are doing on offense. Los Angeles solidified that offensive line and gave the quarterback some targets. They're averaging 35 points a game. That quarterback is pretty good. No one is calling him a bust now. People thought the Rams' defense would be their strength. That hasn't been the case yet, ranked 27th in the NFL. But they do a good job in taking the ball away. If you're talking about an MVP after the first 4 games, Jared Goff has to be in the conversation. When you look at his numbers, why wouldn't he be with 7 touchdown passes and just 1 pick? No one saw this. We keep waiting for the shoe to drop on this franchise. But the Rams are still in first place. I like Detroit and Carolina as well. I like the way Cam Newton played last week. He looked like an MVP. Buffalo is a different story when talking about 31 teams. They can't score enough points. The defense is playing outstanding. But in the end, I don't think they can score enough to win consistently. They're only averaging 18 points a game. Advertisement: the Bills' defense has only given up 14 points a game. Eventually, though, that defense is going to give up points. Can the offense match that? I have my doubts. Plus, New England is still in that division. Raiders have concerns greater than what's been bad in a sense is what we thought would be the Raiders' strength. Derek Carr, hasn't been. The offense is ranked 28th in the NFL. And now he's out for at least 2 weeks with his back. The offensive line hasn't been a strength. With that group, they should be able to run the ball. But they haven't. If that offense is going to get going, it starts with the offensive line. It's too good to be ranked 24th in the NFL in running the football. Marshawn Lynch has to be more involved. When he's on the sideline, he tends to sit by himself. That's just who he is. But all of a sudden, the cameras are on him and people wonder, does he even care? He was like that in Seattle. But when you're winning, no one pays attention. The defense has had its moments, but it's still struggling. We kind of expected that. But we didn't expect the offense to be near the bottom in scoring. The way the Raiders are playing, it's kind of like, really, how many games can you win with E.J. Manuel at quarterback? These next 3 weeks are big for the Raiders. This is a team that has been on the road 3 of the first 4 weeks. Now they're home for the next 3 weeks with Baltimore on Sunday and divisional games with the Chargers and Kansas City. I'd give the Raiders a B for a quarter grade. They've been on the road. Denver is a tough place to win in and Washington is a good football team. But 20 points in 2 games, that ain't good enough. 49ers winless, but competitive. Greater than this defensive line has to set the tone on Sunday and get after the quarterback, force some turnovers and win them a football game. The Colts have given up 14 sacks. You have to stop Frank Gore and make them play one-handed. The 49ers haven't figured it out yet in terms of winning. They're -1 in turnover ratio. That's a bad stat. You don't want to be in the minus. This team isn't good enough to be in that position. This team hasn't been very good in situational football, converting just 30% on 3rd down. The 49ers have 39 penalties. Those are the things that get you. They're not good enough to overcome that. That stops drives. The opposing team possessed the ball for 35 minutes. That becomes a problem. It wears down the defense. Brian Hoyer has a fumble and 4 interceptions. That's a problem. You're trying to be competitive, but you're averaging 17 points a game. You scored 39 against the Rams. Last week, all 15 points came from kicker Robbie Gould. I know they like quarterback CJ Beathard. If it continues to go in the direction it's going, you could see him play. The more you lose, the more you forget how to win. It become a problem. The 49ers need to win this game. I'd still give the 49ers a seat. They've been competitive. No one has blown them out. We knew what the deal was when the season started. But they have not lost to a losing team this year.